Assalamu alaikum everyone. So our today's topic is compare and contrast paragraph. Basically, we know there are many types of paragraph, and compare and contrast is one kind of type of paragraph. So what is it? It actually key. It shows similarities and dissimilarities between two things or persons and places or etc. For example, here I have brought an image of apple and orange, so you may easily understand the theme. The thing is that comparing apple and orange, look at those point. Fruit, both of them are fruit, has skin, gives juice, grows on tree, gives seeds, and both of them are food. So compare and contrast paragraph is like that you have to write, find out the similarities and dissimilarities between two things or persons and places, and you have to write down those points in a paragraph. So what is compare? Compare means similarities. It simply means similarities. For example, I will give you the topic of two persons or two things, and you have to find out the similarities between that two persons or two things or two places, whatever. And we have to find out the similarities, and after finding those points, just make a list of similarities. For example, here we have already seen that fruit has skin, gives juice. They are not a complete sentence, but their points. We have to find out some points, some similarities at first, and then make a list. It is on kind of mind mapping. Then what is contrast? Contrast means dissimilarities. As like similarities, we have to find the dissimilarities between that two persons or things or places. Then again make a list of those dissimilarities. Then how can you develop the paragraph? That means developing the paragraph. We will write an introductory sentence that will give us the overall idea of the topic. At first, you have to put an introductory sentence for each paragraph. So we know for any kind of paragraph, whatever it is, narrative or descriptive, we have to put an introductory sentence, and the compare and contrast paragraph is not an exception. So we have to put an introductory sentence that will give us the overall idea of that topic. Then start to write the similarities in sentences by using a list. We have already made a list of similarities. Then just start to write down those similarities in sentences, in completing sentences by using our list. And after finishing that, start to write the dissimilarities in sentences by using our prepared list. As like the similarities, you have to write the dissimilarities in sentences. So similarities, when you will write the similarities in sentences, it will present the comparison between that two topic, two persons, things, or places. And similarly, when you will put the dissimilarities in sentences by using a prepared list, there will be the contrast between those two places, persons, or things. So when we want to find the comparison between two things, we have to put down the write down the similarities, and after that we have to write down the dissimilarities for the contrast. At last, write a concluding sentence. As I have already said, that compare contrast paragraph is not an exception. It is not different from other types of paragraphs. So in every paragraph, you have to write an introductory sentence in the very beginning of that paragraph, and at last, at the end point, you have to write a concluding sentence. And of course, for this compare contrast paragraph, you have to write a concluding sentence. So next one, some particular words. There are some particular words for writing a compare and contrast paragraph. For example, there are some particular words for comparing. Example like, similarly, also, too. And there are some particular words for contrasting. Example, although, but, besides, unlike. I have already uploaded a file, the key points or keywords for writing a compare and contrast paragraph. I have already uploaded a PDF file in our Moodle, so you can easily download that file and you can easily find the words which are used for comparison and for contrasting any between two things, persons, or two places. Then come to the next point, bear in mind. What should we bear in mind while writing a compare and contrast paragraph? First of all, we have to write only one paragraph. Paragraph means one para. Please notice, don't make two para. For example, we all do mistake here. One para for similarities, that means comparison, and another paragraph is for dissimilarities, for contrast. But don't make this mistake. Write down the paragraph and use only one paragraph for similarities and dissimilarities, that means for comparison and for contrast. Then correct punctuations. Be careful for correct punctuations, that means semicolon, comma, full stop, and capital letter, initial letter of any word, it must be capital. And word limitations, if there is any word limitations for in your question, so you have to be careful for word limitations. Do not exceed the word limit that you have given in your question. So the next one is practice. I think it is well for today. It is enough for today. We have to practice it in our online session. So we will practice to write a compare contrast paragraph in our online session. Till then, thank you so much for watching this video, and Allah Hafiz.